Welcome to Around the Campfire, music, stories, and songs. We are coming to you live from the sold-out Suncor Energy Center for the Performing Arts. Look at all these people. Oh yeah, that's right. We're still social distancing. But that doesn't mean that you don't get to be a part of the show. If you want to interact, you want to ask our performers some questions, or you want to show some love, do so in the comments, and don't forget to share with your friends. In fact, while you're in the comments right now, I want you to push to your favorite emoji of what you're going to expect tonight. Maybe you're sitting there with a cold beer and it's a beer emoji. Maybe it's just a simple thumbs up. Maybe it's a guitar. Maybe it's an accordion. I don't even know if there is an accordion emoji, but who knows? I'm Mike Jones. I'm going to be your host this evening, and I'd like to begin this evening by acknowledging that tonight's the guru of the Gibson, Mychela. The camp counselor of chord progression, Dan Gillies. The mama of the Yamaha, Shantelle Davidson. And the Reverend of Rhythm, the artist formerly known as Deslandes, Aaron Dean. Let's send it down to your co-host this night. This is Dan Gillies.
Thank you for joining us on this Friday night, everyone. You look all so beautiful tonight, all of you. Thank you for coming out. I'm honored to be here as part of this very first Guitar Pull Songwriters Round, Fort McMurray. Thank you, Arts Council. Thank you, Suncor Center for the Performing Arts. I am on the stage with five of, I think, the best songwriters in Fort McMurray. Maybe, we'll see. I think so. I actually, there's a couple of these ladies who are dear to my heart. Actually, all three of them are. I've gigged with all of them. Hello. I was going to do a Betty and a Veronica, but Eva, you're over there.
I know, I'm so far away.
It's so far away. Anyway, speaking of Eva, would you like to play us a song?
I would love to.
Let's hear it.
All right, I'm going to start off with an original. This is called Ghost. I wrote this last summer. The premise behind this song is post-breakup, where you feel like after the relationship is over, you're being haunted by that person still, and you're still feeling their presence and not being in love with them per se, but the idea of them, their shadow self. So it's a bit of a psychological song, and it goes like this. I remember your ghost as you were walking away from me. I remember it the most. I was speaking on my knees, and you left such beautiful scars in the back of my old sports car. Yeah, I remember it the most, but all I wanted was your ghost. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? Is it something just beautiful or something terrible? Yeah. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? 'Cause all I wanted was your ghost, and all I needed was your ghost. Ghost. You were just dancing there with all of your beautiful hair and all of your cigarette burns on the back of my nail beds, and you're not another part of me. I wish it couldn't be. I thought I needed you the most, but all I wanted was your ghost. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? Is something just beautiful or something terrible? Yeah. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? 'Cause all I wanted was your ghost, and all I needed was your ghost. Ghost, why? You still haunting me? I I try to see it and I try to deny it. You know I just can't fight it. Why are you still haunting me? I try to shake it and I try to fake it. You know I just can't shake it. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? Is there something just beautiful or something terrible? Yeah. What do you want from me? What do you need from me? 'Cause all I wanted was your ghost, and all I needed was your ghost. Ghost. Thank you.
Oh, that was so good.
Ooh, I'm sweating.
So good.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. So like, Ghost. Can you tell us why you chose that? Like, that's the title, right?
Yeah.
It's like a haunting thing, you know, country music. Tell
Yeah.
me.
It has a weird dichotomy with it because it's an upbeat sounding song and it has like catchy hooks, but it has a really kind of dark meaning behind it.
Yeah.
So
There's a duality there.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. There's that whole supernatural element with it, of course. And then I think when I was in university, we were reading a lot of books about the shadow self and about the unconscious. And I was just so into the idea of how even when we're past certain relationships, your mind always goes back to certain times and you remember good things, but you don't want to. You're like, oh, I don't want to remember this. I'm moving on with my life. And the ghost aspect of it is how the idea of the relationship or the idea of how that person could have been with you still lingers on you like a shadow, and you gotta shake it off. There's a lyric in there that's like, I gotta shake you off. Get out of here, you ghost. So, yeah.
It's cool because for me, I'm thinking of like, you know, you have a relationship, maybe, you know, a romance that didn't end up being the romance that, yeah, you had for the rest of your life. And even though there was good times and bad times, sometimes you romanticize it. And it's like, oh, this is how I remember this person, and like, that's not actually how it was, man.
Yeah.
So there's a ghastly element.
Yeah.
To that. I wanted to ask you. So I've known you for a very long time. Most of us, where we're either know each other, we're getting to know each other. I remember a 16-year-old Eva LaPrairie. Is this the camera? I remember a 16-year-old Eva LaPrairie, and I don't know when you wrote your first song, because you were sitting on the piano writing songs, as probably Avril Lavigne songs or something.
Yeah.
But can you tell all of us a little bit about maybe your first song, or maybe just one of the first songs you wrote, and just kind of where your mind was? Were you writing about love, or were you always writing about these kinds of brilliant intellectual things?
Oh, thank you for the compliment. That's very sweet. Well, I'm from a really small town. This is kind of where my songwriting came into play. I'm from a town of 1,000 people in BC called Tumbler Ridge. And when I moved here, it was kind of a big shock to me. And songwriting was such a great outlet for me. And I wrote my first song when I was about 12. And I remember it was about like running away, like trying to go back to BC. And it was on my dad's, he made his cherry wood guitar he made himself, and I was just always practicing it. My fingers were bleeding, and I was so serious about my music. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I was always showing my songs to my family. So, yeah, I think with my songwriting, it was more organic when I was younger, and now that I'm older, I try to make it more storytelling, like as you hear in country songs. I used to before be really focused on the sound and write lyrics that made no sense. It just sounded good with the chord progression. And now I try to just be more thoughtful when I'm writing songs. So, because some people really internalize lyrics, and then some people internalize sound. And I'm definitely a sound person. I'm definitely into tempo. So for me, a challenge at this age was being more conscious of my lyrics.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Good word choice. Just as like a partial English major, I'm like, oh, she's speaking
I'm
really well.
so impressed right now.
I know,
I'm just
right?
like taking notes.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. Max, I'm going to jump over to you. Do you have a song called Ghost? Oh, Yep, okay.
See, that's why I'm not allowed to tell jokes. But that wasn't any racially bad or nothing like that. That's just a funny joke. Anyways, this is a song I wrote after the fire. I went through some like pretty shitty times and kind of feel I had PTSD or something like that, and became a different person, and I was a bit of an asshole to my family, and I don't know. I guess you go through these things, but I realized that maybe I couldn't live without my family, especially my beautiful wife. I wrote this song for her. It's funny, when I wrote this song, I was sitting on top of a float cell in Syncrude 300 building, and I wrote it with a welding rod on a piece of notebook paper.
Perfect.
It's called I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love. I don't want to live without your love. Something that I'd never want to do. And I can never breathe without your love. 'Cause how you know that I'll always be true. Ooh, you're the sun to my moonlight. You're the sail to my ship. I want to see you beside me with a kiss from your lips. Oh no, I don't want to live without your love. Live without your love. And I don't want to live without your love. It's something that I'd never want to do. And I could never breathe without your love. 'Cause how you know that I'll always be true. Ooh, you're the steel to my magnet. You're the wave to my shore. I wanna see you beside me with your clothes on the floor. Oh no, 'cause I don't wanna live without your love. I don't wanna live without your love. And the days they'd be so lonely, and the nights they'd seem so true. So reach out your arms and hold me, like I need you to, like I need you to. And I don't want to live without your love. Something that I never want to do. And I can never breathe without your love. It's how you know that I'll always be true. Ooh, you're the bed to my garden. You're the rose to my phone. And I'll carry you, baby, when you get tired and warm. Oh no, I don't want to live without your love. 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 I don't want to live without your love. Something that I'd never want to do.
I don't think you're going to have to live without her love after that. Oh, my goodness. That was awesome.
Did she cry when you played it for her?
Yeah.
Probably.
That's pretty.
Beautiful.
That's
Sorry, I have a question. So I want to know how your songwriting process is, because that was a really sweet song.
Thank you. My songwriting process is when it pops into my head, I write it down. I tried writing songs, man. I filled up a full songbook when I was younger, and when I first moved up here, I had a full songbook written and filled out, and I hated every single one of it with every inch of my body. So I wait till when I hit something hits in my head and it just keeps replaying over. I got to sit down and write it right off the bat. So I can't sit down and plan to write a song. It's got to hit me. All my favorite songs that I wrote, basically, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
Most of it funny. The funny thing is, most of the time it's when I'm working. So I'm like standing there, and this thing starts hitting me in the head, and I'm like, ooh, how can I build on this? And I start building on it, and I'm like standing on a scaffold or out in a pit doing something dirty, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to get to a piece of paper. So like with this one here, it wasn't a welding rod, it was actually a brazing rod, and I had a piece of paper that I had gear wrote on. I flipped it over, and I started writing it out, and I was like, holy crap, this song is just writing itself. So for me, that's how it happens. I got to wait for it to strike me. That's probably why I don't have like 50 songs. I only got like 7 or 8 that I really like that I wrote. Like I do have 50 songs, but I don't like most of them.
Relatable.
Yes.
Yeah, very relatable.
So here, I just had a question here, because both, Max and I, we're not too old, but we're older in this generation.
Not me.
We remember, certain times. So, I mean, nowadays.
I remember when I was young.
When I was, is there a little bit of gray, Yeah. But so I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking, okay, so if you get a melody in your head, right? Give me the hook again in that. I don't want to live without your love. Live without your love. So, not only is that hook great, I don't want to live without your love, but it's how you're singing, right? Yeah. So for me and you, we'll just hit our iPhone and just record it, right, and check it out later. But 20 years ago, we couldn't just record ourselves on a scaffold, right?
100%, yeah.
So we had the tape players. How did you have a pocket recorder 20 years ago?
No, I bought one and I never used it. I bought one and I recorded a couple of things on it, and I was like, you know what? It's just I got to sit down with my guitar. And actually, sometimes I don't even sit down with the guitar. If I get the tune in my head, like with this one, I got the tune in my head. And I kind of wrote this song. I don't know if you noticed. I wrote it kind of backwards. So the chorus is first, then the verse. Right? And that's not really a usual way to write a song, but I thought it was pretty cool, so I kind of did it that way. So I repeat the chorus, and then the verse comes after. So that's kind of a little bit of an interesting thing I tried with this song, and I thought it worked out pretty well.
Cool.
So good. I want an answer to my question, though. So you're on a scaffold in 1995, and you got a hook in your head. You're like, that's a nice little ditty. How do you record that? Did you just remember melodies?
I remember melodies pretty well, yeah.
So I almost wondered, let's go back to our psychologist, Eva, over here. Right?
Yeah.
So melodies can just stick, and you can you get it in your head, and you came up with it, or maybe it came up with you.
Yeah.
And you're hanging on to it.
So for me, if I start singing it in my head until I get sick of it, then I know I got a good song that I wrote.
Yeah.
That's what happens. I keep on singing, because I don't want to forget it. I'm like, crap, I can't forget it.
Yeah.
So I'll keep on singing it over and over in my head, the hook or the melody, and then I'll start building on it. And by the time the end of the workday is over, if I don't get a chance to write it down, I'm starting to get a little bit sick of it. Then I know it's a pretty good song, because it's catchy enough to stick in my head, right?
I think there's a line, play it till you hate it. Yeah. Mike Jones.
Oh, yeah, what's up? We're just making some s'mores over here in the audience and reading all the comments. You guys are getting some great compliments over there. If you want to ask these guys a question, you can ask it in the comments. We got a question here from the audience, and they wanted to know, what was the age that everybody here started playing?
11 for me.
I was singing since I was really young because I watched Disney movies, but I learned piano when I was about 6 or 7, and then I picked up the guitar when I was 12.
I think I was about 8 or 9 when I started playing. Grew up in a musical family, so, Mama taught me the 3 chords and the truth, and there you have it. And that's still all I know.
She knows 4 chords after last night, so.
Yeah.
I was 12. I was 12 years old. My mom had an old Ibanez, Japan-made Ibanez, and she let me play on that. So it was so amazing.
You, everyone as well.
My dad plays the drums pretty hard. My mom plays the piano, sings.
Oh, that's cool.
Here's a funny story. For those of you that are guitar nerds, Dan, Max, Aaron, all of you guys probably. So when I started playing guitar, I started playing on a Hummingbird Gibson.
Oh,
okay?
Damn.
I didn't know what that meant, and I sold it for $200.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Now I know what that means, and we're taught, it's like, yeah, right? Yeah.
I would have given you $250.
I know. If I was smart enough at the time and wrote the serial number down, I'd probably try and find it. But yeah, I'm looking for that guitar or any Hummingbird Gibson.
That's unbelievable.
I'm good.
That actually made my heart kind of
I
just skip
know.
a beat.
Every time I think about it, I'm like, what was I thinking? Why didn't my mother stop me? But I don't think she knew either.
Oh. So for those that don't know, and I imagine a lot of guitar nerds know, the Hummingbird, if you look at Eric Church or if you look at gosh, you go all the way back to, you know, the Beatles and, you know, some of these. And actually going back in the Nashville scene, especially country music, the Hummingbird and the J45 are kind of the two staple, you know, Gibson acoustics. And you know it's a Hummingbird because if you look at it, there's a little bird over here. Just
Also them big shoulders.
yeah, big shoulders.
Square shoulders.
That makes me really sad.
I know, me too.
But- So speaking of, you know, I dropped the Beatles, but so Mychela, you've got a song, a brand new song it gives me Stones vibes, like
Well, that's
Rolling
kinda
Stones.
cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I almost want you to start singing like Brown Sugar or something.
Right? Close,
do that.
but no, I
Don't
won't.
do that.
I won't. I won't.
And Mychela just showed me the song. We played it 2 nights ago, right?
Yeah.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I think I know it.
I think
might
I know
not.
it. I'm not sure either.
So what? Like, can you tell me? Like, give me a little bit about this.
So, I've been doing music and, well, alive for quite some time. I won't tell you how many years, but it's been a while. I'm not a young one. And so just
You look great.
Well,
You
thank
look
you. Thank you. So just with life and the music industry and trying to break into that and just trying to be successful in anything that I do. And I'm sure most everybody that tries so hard feels the same way. You know, you get a lot of no's and you're not, you know, you don't have the right look or you're not the right age or you don't have the right degree or whatever situation you're in. So I just, I started writing this song and it's just kind of like, you know what? I'm just not going to stop. I'm just going to keep doing me and doing my thing. And at some point, somebody's going to know when they hear Mychela, they're going to know who it is. Or when they hear Eva, they're going to know who it is. So
Yeah, girl. Here.
I just wrote this song. It's called, I don't even know if I have a title for it yet. I think we called it Everybody's Going to Know My Name.
I got Everybody Knows My Name.
Everybody knows. There we go.
But
We'll call it that.
works.
So this is going to be the first single off the record that I've been recording forever and a day. But this one's almost ready. Mike Jones, this one's almost ready. Not long ago I was lost in time. I'm tired of the pressure, tired of the grind. People playing crazy games. Now I'm leaving that behind. I'm gonna turn me a brand new page. It isn't always true that wisdom comes with age. I'm ready for a change. Now it's time to change my mind. I'm gonna dance barefoot in the rain, like nobody's watching me. Let it pour down on me like sweet champagne. I'll take a chance and roll the dice again. Maybe I'll win the lottery. It's not about the fortune, it's not about the fame. I'm not gonna stop till everybody knows my name. I used to try and please everyone. Now I'm only thinking about having fun. It's time to cut it loose and turn the whole thing inside out. Yeah, I learned my lesson and I learned it well. Never get to where I'm going, standing still. It's time to tilt my head back and turn a whisper to a shell. I'm gonna dance barefoot in the rain, like nobody's watching me. Let it pour down on me like sweet champagne. I'll take a chance and roll the dice again. Maybe I'll win the lottery. It's not about the fortune, it's not about the fame. till everybody knows my name.
Woo!
Thanks, everybody.
Deadly tune.
Killer.
Thank you.
I
love
have
the
a
chorus, it's so
question for
cool.
you,
Oh,
too.
Really kicks
man,
you.
sorry.
Sweet champagne.
Oh,
love
man,
it.
bare
That's so
feet,
nice.
champagne. I just
I love
want
that
to.
too.
All of it.
I want to
I
hang
love
out
that
with
song.
you. I want
Three
to hang.
syllables.
Mychela.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
That's
Pretty
what
sweet.
it is. Eva LaPrairie had a question.
Yeah, I want to know who your musical influences are. Because I hear country and I hear rock and I hear, like, I love your strong vocals. So I'm very interested to know who inspires you or who you try to emulate and all that stuff.
So I love old country, and I love like the ladies of soul. Like
Okay.
I'm an R&B girl to
Oh,
the core.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and of course, old country, most of even new country, a lot of it is based on the 12-bar blues. So
Yeah.
it kind of just segues into each other. So I think I draw a lot from that. And of course, the ladies of soul are amazing vocalists. So.
Oh, yeah.
And clearly, I am more a singer than I am a guitar player. I almost forgot to play even, but that's...
Oh, you played?
no,
I
it was
like,
great.
I
It was
freaked out.
all amazing.
I think I've played with Mychela for 8 years, 7 years.
Almost
7 years.
8, yeah.
I don't think she's ever picked up a guitar. Now, when she songwrites, she picks up a guitar. And she sent me a track when she was, she wanted to do these tunes and she wanted me to play for her. And she sent me the tracks. And one of them, I hear this piano playing. I'm like, are you playing piano? Do you know how to play piano? So I think Mychela's got the right tools to write a song. A little bit of piano, a little bit of guitar, whole lot of vocal.
Well, thanks.
So good.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah, it's
so
fun.
good. So you mentioned the Ladies of Soul. Chain, chain, chain.
Yeah.
You do that song, don't you?
Yeah.
you do. That's funny.
You have to. If you're going to do soul. Yeah.
Aretha Franklin?
Yeah.
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 Aretha's a boss.
Isn't she, though?
Oh, she's a total boss.
Okay, I'm going
Yeah.
to talk.
She's the original like diva.
Yes.
Got
Absolutely,
nothing.
Yeah.
without a doubt.
I'm trying, but boy, that's some big shoes to fill, that one.
You're a diva.
a lot of 80s.
I do a lot of 80s.
And you don't change the key,
No.
like Lover Boy and all. Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway.
They're so fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Cool.
And I love the ribbons and it's just,
Yeah.
the scarf is so good.
Thanks. It's got sparkles. I don't know if that shows through on the camera, on live, but it's sparkly, everybody.
It's beautiful.
It's part of the diva-ness in me, right?
Yeah.
All the sparkles.
I got a little bit too. Just
You
a little
do.
bit, just
you
a tiny
do.
bit.
But you're rock and roll, right?
Yeah. And I do not have as strong as a voice as Mychela. I was like, just turn my mic up because it's kind of like a John Mayer thing, and Michela's like, woo! I'm like, oh man, I'm after her. Okay, that's okay. This is a lot of fun. So I'm gonna play a song. Check 1, 2. We all write songs about love. We all write songs about love that went well and love that did not go well. And this is a song about love that did not go well. And there's a couple things I want to let you know about the song before I sing it. I was writing, it's got this like Irish, I don't want to say drinking, but like it's got this like you want to be in a pub singing the chorus with gang vocals. You guys know what gang vocals are, everyone's shouting it, right? It's kind of a raise your glass kind of a thing, but it's not a party song at all. It's a broken heart song. And why we're raising our glass, why we're toasting is because it's kind of a eulogy. Can I get a little psychological, Ava? So what's going on is this man just got dumped by this woman. I'm the man. And this relationship needs to die. It feels like it's dead. And so I'm kind of giving a final farewell. And yet I'm biting my lip because I don't want it to be. And I'm going to try to, but she's terrible for me. But I'm still
hanging
trying.
on.
But I'm
It's
hanging
like
on.
similar to my song. a
It's
bit.
kind of,
Yeah.
I should call it Ghost. Can I, did you
Oh,
trademark?
Sorry, it's trademarked.
What's
That's
it
okay.
actually called?
Can I
It's
change,
called
Can I change
Round.
all the words to
Round.
It's called Round with You. roses or long drives this time. A simple feelings, something that I should have done. Oh, so long ago. You know we've been through too much to carry on like this. I'm picking myself up, falling behind. I live in you, in the back of my mind. I'm biting my lip, I don't care. By the guys you're me, none of them will ever love you, girl, half as much as me. You would have been my only one, darling. It messed it up for both of us. Something tells me you'll be back after you spend all your chances. For you here anymore, letting go. All over again, raise your glass for the last time. I'm not doing another round with you. When you finally see the world we're here, you come back running. Sweet nothings in my ears are your gear. I won't listen. I dress up a pretty, smile like you do. Lean in my doorway, take off your shoes. You can make me want you, don't even have to try. Trying to forget you, ain't gotta let this die. Tell him you care. Pretty soon there'll be nobody left. Play with his mind. Tell him you care. Pretty soon there'll be nobody left. Play with his mind. Tell him you care. Pretty soon there'll be nobody. Very well. My last words do. There's no room for you here anymore. Letting you go. All over again. Raise your glass for the last time. I'd like to another round. Raise your glass for last time, not doing another round. Raise your glass for the last time, not doing another round with you. Thank you.
Great song, Dan. I love it.
Ooh, nice.
Thank you.
All right, so now we got to ask you questions, bud. We're the MC now.
Question time.
Max.
So you asked everybody else, what's your writing process? That seems like a great tune. I mean, I like the lyrics and the imagery and the words. What's going on there? Like, what do you use for, what's your main writing prose?
You know, it's awesome. So I'm definitely, out of everyone here, as much as I love country music and play country music and have played country music, I grew up in 90s alternative. That was my gig.
Me too.
I had kind of, you know, I think of my favorite songwriters. I think of John Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls. He used a lot of, you know, imagery. Very, you know, I think, you know, we all know Iris and those kind of tunes. I think of Rain Maida from Our Lady Peace. I think of that Eddie Vedder vibe. You know, there's something about having lyrics that are subtle. You know, like there's an artistic vibe to it, right? And so for me, I guess I'm dodging the question about how do I write. I have a little bit of what you have, Max. I'll need to have some kind of product to write, but other times
I hate that part of writing. It's the worst part for me, having to sit down and write. For me, it stifles my creativity.
You know, I think for me, I love to let songs marinate. I think that would be the answer.
I have a question too.
Oh, Eva.
Sorry, I have to ask everyone a question. So Dan, I know you from a while back.
Yes, you do.
And you taught me a little bit of guitar back in the day. You're my guitar teacher.
I was your guitar teacher.
So I always knew you, and like I always associated you with my older brother because you guys are both like really good at electric guitar and pulling out these crazy riffs. And I want to know if songwriting was something that came to you earlier when you were younger, or did it come to you after? Because I feel like you did instrumental first. I don't know. Just from your skills on guitar, I want to know about how you became into your songwriting journey.
Oh, thank you. So I, like the rest of us, I did start writing when I was 12, 13. I had a punk band that I fronted in high school.
Ooh.
And I had a punk band that I fronted partially in college. But in punk, I mean a little bit, you know, alternative into.
You had shorter hair.
Lots of earrings and all kinds of things. But so I was writing well. It's like I probably wrote 50 songs in high school, and then they were all terrible. But you know, broken heart. And then in college, they got a little better. You know, play for a friend's wedding. Hey, write me a song, that kind of thing. And so what happened was when I went to music school, by my last year, I kind of stopped writing, but it wasn't because I didn't love it or didn't have it. It was just I wanted to buckle down and focus on technique and
Oh,
playing.
okay.
And I actually fell away from that side of things. I think I was probably...
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I think I was 21, 22. I'm going to bring Shan into this because it wasn't until I started playing with Shan 9 years ago, right? Almost 10? 9 years?
Yeah.
And where she's like, hey, can you back me up some harmony? I'm like, oh, I don't know if I will. It's like, and yet I had all this like in my background. But it was playing with Shan that brought me back into performing like this 9 years ago. So
Well, I'm glad I could bring out the beautiful harmonies that you have.
well, thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's super awesome to listen to something that you've written with lyrics, because I have your album, your instrumental album, by the way. If you don't have it, I'm sure he still has
It's awesome.
copies available that you can purchase and support the local amazing Dan Gillies. So I have the instrumental album, and I've known you and been playing with you for 8 years and had no idea that you actually wrote lyrics. So when we were doing this and we're doing original songs, I'm like, Dan, do you even have lyrics to go with the stuff you write? Like, that's weird because I'm not used to you ever singing. And he's like, yeah.
I kept it.
It's awesome.
I kept it hidden. I kept it underneath. Anyway, yeah.
That's great.
So Dan, I've got another question for you.
man,
I definitely
they're
noticed
peppering me.
I definitely noticed the Goo Goo Dolls influence in your strumming there.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like to me you wrote that song on an acoustic, right?
Oh yeah.
Because me, I find when I write a song on an electric, it's totally a different strumming style. Like you very definitely have a very percussive strumming style on that song.
Yeah.
And for me, whenever I write something on acoustic, it kind of does the same thing. Do you find that like when you write something on electric, it's a lot more flowy and kind of?
Oh man, you're bringing up a really awesome topic that we could talk about for all the guitar players watching out there. But yeah, writing songs on electric and acoustic, like it is a totally different thing. You're right. When you're writing on the acoustic, when you're strumming, you're drumming, right? So there's a very percussive Jack Johnson kind of thing happening. And not that you should write on the acoustic guitar, but maybe you should write on the acoustic guitar. Anyone out there, write on the acoustic guitar, because it just gives you everything. It gives you the harmony, the melody, it gives you the percussion. I find the songs are more dynamic, Max, when you write them on the acoustic.
I agree.
But the electric's great when you're doing hooks and stuff, and licks. I was going to say, though, and this is for any, Zach Brown fans out there, I love writing on a classical. I don't know if anyone else likes that, the wider neck and the nylon strings. I love writing. I almost brought
Haven't tried it. It's awesome.
Yeah, and doesn't Willie Nelson, his trigger is a classical.
The trigger's a classical, yeah.
Yeah, it's
nylon string.
Yeah, and there's something dynamic about a nylon string too. But
I agree. I wrote a couple of songs on a nylon string. When I first moved up here, I didn't bring my guitar with me, so my buddy Juan lent me his nylon string.
Yeah.
And I wrote 2 songs on it, and they sounded like Bob Dylan Desire album-ish.
Oh.
It was so, I still love those 2 songs.
It's raw.
Yeah, it's raw.
Yeah.
It's less percussive than a steel string because you got to be more gentle. But man, those 2 songs I wrote on that nylon string, I really love them. But I'm not playing them tonight, by the way.
You get really experimental on the classical.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like you can go do and like fit a lot of lyrics in between when you're plucking.
Yeah. There's an openness because of the nylon strings. You're getting more overtones and more harmonics.
Yeah.
And you're just getting it's lovely. I have this old classical that it's not as cool as Trigger, Willie Nelson's, but it there is you can see where a hole wants to start. So I almost brought it, but there's no pickup, so I didn't bring it. But it's I was when I was prepping for this show. That's what I was using was this nylon string.
I feel like you need such a big hand to
You do.
play a classical.
You need Max hands.
we're-
Max, show me your hand. Oh man,
Show them your hand.
Yeah, they're pretty
on this
big.
side.
I love it.
Well,
So good.
I got a question for you.
Sorry,
The
Aaron.
quiet guy on the panel here.
Quiet guy.
So with the content of your song,
Yeah.
right? When you play it now, do you still get any kind of emotional, and that kind of goes for everybody on the panel so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you might flood in the smile because you're just in love, and you might be relieved because it's gone. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys still have that
I always get emotional when I sing my own songs. That one I was singing there, I almost kind of broke out a couple of times. I'm a very emotional person, right? So for me, it's like, oof, a couple of
Question for Dan.
lyrics I hit there, I almost
That's
lost
a
my
question
voice a
for
little
Dan
bit.
and all of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do. I think I approach it differently. I feel like when I first write it, it was like something kept inside, and then it's a big emotional release. I don't know. It's kind of like with performing. I think everyone's different. Like, I feel like some people have this emotional outlet with it, and like with me, I feel like, okay, I think I'm more systematic in my brain where I'm like, okay, at this part I got to be louder, and then I got to be quieter here.
Right.
I don't know. That's how I am. I don't know how everyone else is, though.
I'm trying to think how to answer that. I think I have an answer. So definitely get emotional when I sing. Definitely. I think that it's primarily the music that I'm
Receptive, then you kind of just change it emotionally. I don't know. I
That's
change
very true.
so
Like
much.
every performance is different. Well, for me at least, it's like you always have a different type of show, different type of audience, and as an artist, you always have to learn to adjust yourself to the crowd or to the vibe of the room.
Yeah, when you sing the same song over and over again, you kind of have to recreate kind of that emotion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Speaking of Shantelle, when you write songs
Yeah.
and get emotional, you have a song for us. that you're
I
gonna
do have a
play.
song,
You have
yeah.
many songs.
Play some tunes for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all talk, no action tonight.
Shan, I've learned a number of your songs, and so I have to ask you: did you use the same strumming pattern? Like you?
No.
No. Okay. When I first started playing with Shantelle 9 years ago, she would show me these very pretty songs with a very lovely voice, and and she was right out of LA, and she's this young Nashville, I'm gonna be Taylor Swift. And then she plays a song,
True story.
but you just did that strum pattern on that song and that song. I was
Yeah, and that goes back to I am not a guitar player. I'm a singer and starting to become a songwriter.
But in the last few years, you picked up your guitar playing a little more, I think.
Yeah, I kind of dove into it and feel a little bit more artsy with my songwriting. So I just, like I throw in an A minor now when,
Ooh, I know that one too.
Yeah.
GCD.
See, you know more than 3.
Yeah.
And I've noticed.
So I've expanded, Dan.
Yeah, you have. At most gigs we do, you say to me, I need to play some songs on the guitar. What songs am I going to play on the guitar? I'm like, well, just let me do it for you. You just sang, like, no, I need to play some songs on the guitar.
So I'm trying.
Yeah, it's good. Looks great. I'm excited to hear it, Shan.
Thanks.
Tell us about this song.
So this song is really, really special to me. It kind of like what Max was saying, it just kind of poured out of me, and I had to write it down. So I just had my daughter, and I was feeling, all the feels when you become a new mom. And I just was thinking about my mom and how she raised me, and I just, have this totally new perspective on her now that I'm a mother. And same with my grandmother, it brought me back to her and her hands. And I had this image of hands, and I'm like, oh, I need to write a song about this. And my Gram's hands they're so special. And poor Gram, she's suffering with arthritis right now. But there's just something so strong about her hands. And I got that picture in my mind, and just thinking about my mom and just how she would rock me to sleep as I was sitting there rocking my daughter. And I came up with this song called Mama's Hands. She was standing at the kitchen sink. There was no time to overthink. The dishes piled high on the countertop. The baby smiles, she holds her hand. No one needs to understand the feelings she stores deep inside her soul. And I wonder what she did before. My mama was the strongest woman I've ever known. Like the waves in the ocean, she rolled on. Even though times were trying, she made a happy home. Mama's hands will never grow old. Through the years I saw her pray. I always wondered what she'd say to the Lord up high from her bed. Now I know that God is love. She prayed for joy, peace in us, always putting us before herself. And I wonder what she did before. My mama was the strongest woman I've ever known. Like the waves in the ocean, she rolled on. Even though times were trying, she made a happy home. Mama's hands will never grow old. My chime. She made a happy home. Mama's hands will never grow old. Mama's hands will never grow old.
Nice.
So beautiful.
That was lovely.
Thank you. I think I played a couple wrong chords, but hey.
Didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice.
I'm
it was
glad.
awesome.
So pretty.
Thank
so,
you.
So pretty.
Thanks.
Shan, melody or lyrics first? So when you sat down, you were obviously inspired to write about your grandmother, right?
Yes.
And so were you thinking about her and you started humming along, a sweet melody to some chords? Or were you thinking, no, her hands won't grow? Like, were you thinking the lyrics first, or were you thinking the melody first when you wrote
Kind
that?
of both at the same time for this one, honestly. And it's like a different process for every song. So I was definitely kind of like, I had that imagery, and then I picked up my guitar and just I kind of like had the melody, and I was kind of just seeing the ocean, and then like these images of my grandma's hands, and then my mom, and it just kind of all kind of just flooded out. So
I love that, seeing the ocean.
yeah, so
The
then that
song-
line about like the waves in the ocean.
You are.
Hey, whoa. Hey, come on,
He's a
ladies.
skater boy.
Oh, skater boy. We all had a crush on her. Okay, so... Really? No, that's in my
Sorry.
head.
No,
Taylor
she's,
Swift.
she's
Guilty.
a cutie.
So good.
Definitely a Taylor Swift fan still.
So that's my question, I guess, is like, who do you look up to when you, like, you were obviously, you've been inspired by certain artists and their writing and, how they write. Is it safe to say the Avrils and the Taylors out there, or is there other artists that have influenced your writing?
Miranda Lambert, 100%. She's so raw and real and just diverse. I think, she's definitely, when it comes to songwriting, that's for sure. Because I have a lot of different influences, like Shania and Dolly, but I definitely feel like Miranda, I admire her writing style so much.
She's very raw, absolutely.
Yeah, and just she writes pretty songs, and then she writes like tough songs, and she's pretty diverse. She's a badass.
Yeah. I love her. Who's this guy?
Uh-oh.
The strong, silent man.
The strong silent, right? He's probably the funniest one of all of us and the smartest one. And he's probably just watching us going, oh, this is kind of cool.
Just wait till they sing.
Oh, man.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I love it. You've got a Martin there. You're the only one representing Martin here, right? Is that right? Ava, yeah. And the thing is, for those that are guitar fan, I mean, you don't even need to be a guitar fan, a country fan. Martin is kind of the, you could even argue as big as Gibson, if not bigger.
I'd say sound-wise, Martin is ahead.
Is ahead. Because when you think of
Gibson's style,
but like
beautiful.
Hank
approval
Williams,
play.
those guys-
Absolutely, Hank Williams,
Yeah.
Willie Nelson. It's all Martin.
Yeah,
Even
so-
Dave Matthews plays mostly Martin. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the most famous acoustic players are playing Martins.
Yeah, and so it would actually be a bad thing if 6 songwriters, country songwriters, were on stage and there was not a Martin. It would be like sacrilegious because Hank Williams and all these. So thank you for repping a Martin.
Right?
Yeah, that's my.
And it's nice and
I
played.
love this. Hey,
Yeah.
let's just.
I love the wear on it.
Just rub it like every
Used is
like.
good.
That's it, man.
Make that whole happen. What are you gonna sing for us?
Well, it's funny. It's actually, this song is one of the first ones I wrote. There's no real structure to it. It's a story, and it's actually, if I get choked up a little bit, it's more about my dad, right? So it's kind of growing up, and it's called "Don't Rush," and it's like, when you're young, you want to get up to driving, and then you want to get up to whatever you want, but then as you get older, you're like, man, I wish I was younger. I wish I had more time. And it's just about, like a boy conversing with his dad and a girl with his mom, with her mom, and them just telling him not to rush and just take it easy, kind of thing. So that kind of thing. It's just kind of a life lesson kind of thing.
I think those are my favorite songs about life, songs about growing up and wishing you could go back, and just the reflections songs. Yeah. Excited.
All right. So it's called Don't Rush. Here it is. Little boy at the age of 10 says to his dad, Dad, I don't know what I want to be when I grow to be a man. He said, son, don't rush it, take your time. Look in the mirror, the answer won't be hard to find. Dad, I think I want to be a hero with a cape, saving people and lifting things and flying around the lake. I said, boy, that's a great idea. Do all you can. Work hard and keep your word and be a better man. Hey. A young girl at sweet 16 turns to mom. I need some makeup to go with these shoes and scarf. She said, girl, why you stressing over superficial stuff? I need to look a couple years older to get into that club. Yeah. Grown man at 35 turns to his dad. I don't think I became that man. He said, boy, look at yourself and look real hard. You can't be any more proud of the man that you are. Hey. Dad, maybe you're right, became that man. I'm super strong to these little boys by crushing Dr. Pepper cans. I fly 'em around the lake when I put 'em on my back, and save them every day by being a loving dad. Hey. Oh, oh. Grown woman at 42 turns to I'm so sad, I think my life's all wrong. She said, girl, look at yourself and look real good. You're strong, independent, a symbol of womanhood. Hey. Don't rush it, take your time. Life's a journey, everybody's got the path to find. Hey.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Cold shivers, dude. Seriously.
So good.
I love the whistling. So fun.
Okay, I think someone should ask one question because we're getting close to time, and then go through.
Sorry.
I hate to be that person, but
You need to be that. I
I
hate to be that person.
I just want everyone to show their second song, so I think we
Yeah.
should stick it to one question going
Sure.
down.
And that's why I was asking you earlier about the emotional thing, because a lot of times when I sing this and I think about my dad, I have to stop.
You
know?
made me think about my dad too. To be honest, your lyrics are beautiful, man. I thought about my dad a lot in that song.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks, man.
I loved it. I was totally in the moment with you when you were singing it.
It's such a good, like, it's a life story song.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Is it recorded?
No.
You gotta get a
This is one of
CD
those in the books, yeah. But yeah, I'll look at yeah.
And I was just going to say, it's really cool because as a songwriter, whether you see someone else perform your song or whether you're performing your song, you want that song to touch someone or a lot of people. You want that song to impact people, right? And maybe it's just a good song and it's beautiful, but for Max to say, I'm thinking about my dad because you wrote that song. I mean, like that's really the goal, right? Because you have, as a songwriter, you have to get this out. You get it out, and you hope that someone can receive that, and that's beautiful.
Amazing job, dude.
Yeah,
Good
man,
song.
so good.
Looks like we got a question from the audience, Mr. Mike.
Oh,
Yes.
Mike.
Absolutely. Keep those questions coming in the comments, guys. We're seeing some great ones in there, so keep those coming for sure. And we're going to ask the artists throughout the show here. So this one, we're going to ask. I guess we'll start with Aaron on this one. If you could pick, this is a question from Liana. If you were on a desert island and you could only bring one album with you, what would it be? I know for me, it would probably be The Wall. I'd have to bring The Wall because it's just a great It's a double discer. It's nice and long, you know.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'll be honest. Just because of what I'm listening to right now, so it's in my head. This last Luke Combs album, I know it's new
So
and it's
good.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of upbeat stuff, a lot of nice ballady kind of stuff, a lot of emotion, a lot of yeah. So I would say that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Eva LaPrairie, you started the show. Do you have another song for us?
I do. The song is called Best of Me. I'm not going to talk too much. I'll try not to talk too much. I was just playing around with this chord progression in my living room, and my dad came out, and he was like, oh, that's cool. Let's jam this out. And we kind of wrote it together. And this is just a redemption song. It's just proving people wrong when you want to do something they say you can't. And it's about being a strong person. It goes like this. Think you got the best of me. Think that everybody knows your hurts. Watch out, I'm faster now, and I'm stronger than I ever was. You love to watch me just fall apart into everything I never was. I know it, she knows it, he knows it, we were goddamn special. I know it, he knows it, she knows it, and we've lost potential. Look at me, we're over now. Look at us, it's over now. I know it, she knows it, he knows it, we were goddamn special. Thinking lies were valid, baby, but you are just so vapid now, vapid now. Think I wasn't strong enough, or I was just too bad for you, bad for you. You love We were goddamn special. Goddamn special. Yeah, that was fun.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, so
It was awesome. Your songs are so dynamic. They got so many little changes in them and stuff. I really like. Good
Oh,
writing.
thank
Awesome.
you so
Your
much.
voice is so cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So just thinking of best of me. I immediately, it was funny. I thought best of you, Foo Fighters, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool because like your voicings are similar to the voicings Dave Grohl uses in Best of You. So like I was like, oh, this song kind of fits in that whole ambiance. Like it was just a really
Yeah. I've
thing.
been
I thought, like,
listening
Best
to
of
a lot of Go-Go's too, like their first
Oh.
album. I just like love the punk singing from Belinda Carlisle. I'm like, trying to emulate
That's
that
an
a
amazing
bit.
singer.
Yeah.
I did have, so for one question, I've got something I'd like to ask you,
Yes.
Eva, if that's okay. It's kind of along with Max. You've had now 2 songs with very different vibes and different chord progressions. So what's your go-to chord progression? Most performers or songwriters, it's like G, C, D, E minor, 1, 4, 5, 3 chords in the truth. But you're giving us like really eclectic stuff. So what's your go-to progression?
I love doing C minor sharp, A, E, B, and like putting a capo on it, maybe 2 capos up. I love it. I don't know. I write so many songs, especially on the piano with like electric piano with different, what's that when you could change the piano styles?
Transposing? Or,
Yes.
Yeah, or yeah.
Yeah, when you can make it like just electric piano, like.
Oh, I see. Yeah, change it.
I always go to those chords, and my brother always makes fun of me. He's like, "You always do the same chords," but I love it.
I always do all the white keys.
Yeah.
I love it. No, it's very refreshing. I'd like to go to an Eva show because I'm probably gonna get like 30 different songs.
Yeah,
you know.
very. I don't know what my style is. It's very different.
I love it.
Sings like a
great
sweet,
style.
like a sweet little bird. Like her voice is just like.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, you do. You're just, yeah, beautiful.
So much love right now.
Honestly, this is so fun. I wish we can do this for
'cause-
hours.
Oh, sorry.
Nope.
It's funny because you do sing like a sweet little bird, but then in the chorus when you come in and say goddamn special, it's like you still get that power there too, right?
What bird says that?
Yeah. I know.
That's
Growing
awesome.
up, everyone's like, "You're such a nice little girl," and I had all this angst.
Yeah, it's
And my
good.
voice is
Yeah,
so
you let
high
it show
pitched,
certain
so I can
times, right?
just get it out in songs. Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Max,
Yes.
I love your microphone. You win
Thank
for
you.
coolest microphone.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple of these actually. Play in bars a lot, so drunk people seem to knock them over and beat them up a lot.
Yeah.
Expensive replacement.
What are you gonna play for us?
I got a song here I wrote. I was listening to a lot of Gary Clark Jr. and I got a lot of buddies that fly up here and work. I mean, probably not as much now because of the recession and everything, but this is one I wrote especially for one of my good buddies. I mentioned him before. The other thing that kills me is the time away from you. Touchdown Friday morning, and I get into my car. Not much longer now, babe, but the distance seems so far. The light comes on to tell me that I've got to stop for fuel. I don't want to waste a minute when I'm driving home to you, because it's hard to be a working man when your work is far away in foreign lands. And it's hard to keep a family too when you're stuck here with the fly out blues. And I pull into the driveway, and the kids are still at school. A couple of hours of me and you acting up like fools. When I'm in my camp room and the minutes pass like days, I miss so much by being here. Gets me in a haze, 'cause it's hard to be a working man when your work is far away in foreign lands. And then it's hard to keep a family too. When you're stuck here with the fly-in, fly-out blues, fly-in, fly-out blues. Man, it seems like they don't care. Your family gets to wear, and they get all your time. When you get back to your room and drink, you always seem to think of leaving it behind, leaving it behind, leaving it behind, leaving it behind. Because it's hard to be a family man when your work is far away in foreign lands. And it's hard to keep a family too when you're stuck here with the fly-in, fly-out blues, 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 fly-in, fly-out blues.
So cool.
Oh yeah.
That was sick.
Is it fly or flying blue?
Fly in, fly out.
That
Like
is
when you're working up in camp and you live back home in Newfoundland, you got to jump on a plane.
Oh,
that
Be away from your
is
family for 2 or 3 weeks.
Such an awesome song.
I love it because I heard, oh gosh, a lot of Gary Clark there, but I heard, bright lights, big city on my head. I heard that. Yeah. Which is,
So cool.
Yeah, that's what hooked me on Gary Clark Jr. But guy's just so amazing.
yeah, no, that's awesome. See, and again, Max, with you, it's like, you just gave us a sweet tune to your wife, and then you gave us a blues tune. So I want to go to a Maxwell show as well, because you're going to give us 30 songs that are totally different.
Yeah, if you seen my mixtapes growing up, you would have been like, what is wrong with that guy? I had go from Megadeth to Tool to Bob Seger in 3 songs. I just listen to everything. I love all music.
So eclectic. I have a question for Max. We're still, I think we're okay. We're half an hour time, right? So we've got, 4
As long as you
more
keep the breaks in between
performances.
people up to down around 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, Max, you're a guitar player.
Yes, I am a
You're
guitar
pretty good.
player.
You're a pretty good guitar player.
Thank you
Max.
very much. I try.
And you have a lot of guitars.
I had a lot more before, but I lost a few of them.
You still have a few, though.
I
hey?
still have quite a few.
So
yeah.
I want you to tell us in 30 seconds or less about your first guitar. Give us a first guitar story.
My first guitar, well, my dad bought me or gave me a piece of crap acoustic when I was 7, thinking I was going to learn, and I didn't. So I don't consider that my first guitar, but he came home with a Series A Telecaster type guitar when I was 11 years old with an amp, and I plugged it in. Man, I spent so much time with that thing. I used to get up an hour early in the morning so I could play guitar after eating breakfast, and I'd come home from school. I used to live right by the school, so I'd run home and eat as fast as I could and run back into the bedroom and play that. Mom used to be like, man. And my older sister would be banging on the door, you're going to be deaf by the time you're 30. Still hear pretty well, and I'm 40.
Did you ever put stickers on your Telecaster?
Never. I've never put a sticker on a guitar, ever. Never will.
You know
I like the more natural and kind of beat up from playing.
Yeah, I'm going to break your heart here before Mychela sings. You know that Japanese-made Ibanez that I started on?
Yep.
My mom let me put stickers all over it.
That's your
Acoustic
style.
guitar.
Hey, man, I don't crap on anybody else's style. It's just my style, right?
Then I realized it was
Why
it
on
was
the
a
guitar? Just put it on the case.
There you go. The case is the right place for stickers.
And I was thinking about Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, but it was an acoustic guitar. Like, why put stickers all over an acoustic guitar? But I did. I covered it in
Stickers on an acoustic guitar, if it's a nice solid wood top, it'll ruin the sound.
You have changed, Dan.
That's bad. That's a wonderful first guitar story. Mychela, so this is the song that Mychela sent me that was on the piano, and I asked her, hey, who's playing piano? Well, I'm playing piano. I said, wow, you play piano. And I've been playing for 8 years with you, and I did not know you played piano.
I courted.
It was
I
pretty.
chorded on piano.
But it was really like it was, it was good enough to do it in an award show or something. Right?
Oh, well, thank you.
Right?
Thank
I thought
you.
it was pretty.
Fancy that.
Yeah, right. So this song, I want
Yes.
to know a little bit about it as I pick the chord progression.
All right, you
Is
do
it okay?
that. So this is a brand new song. Like I wrote it a week or so ago. And it's, we go through, it's a ballad. We go through life and I don't know, I can't speak for anybody else that's sitting up here. Certainly can't speak for the men, but I'm sure that at some point or another we all feel that we're so broken that we're ugly, and the things that we've gone.
Every little scar has a story to tell. The places you've been, the things you've done, the people you've lost, the battles you've won. Beautifully broken, battered and bruised, lost and forgotten like yesterday's news, and gone like a dream. As soon as your eyes open, you wake up knowing you're beautifully broken. Your soul's been damaged, not beyond repair. Pain is not forever. Please do not despair. Feeling so unworthy when the past is all you see. Focus on the future, what is meant to be. I look in the mirror, what do I see? I look in the mirror and I see that you are me. 'Cause I'm beautifully broken, battered and bruised, lost and forgotten like yesterday's news, gone like a dream. As soon as my eyes open, I wake up nowhere. We're all beautifully broken, battered and goodness, I'm like teary-eyed over here.
Wow, the feels.
Yeah.
I love how you hold on to that emo.
Are we all crying? Can we admit that? That we're all crying?
Yes,
Where's my
yes.
sunglasses? Where's my sunglasses?
Oh man, not showing you.
That was amazing.
So close, so close.
That was a really gorgeous song.
Thank you.
I love how the whole E
word.
minor there just
Gorgeous.
a little bit longer, and then you drop into the A. It just boom. That's a great progression.
Thanks.
And I think like any person can totally relate to it. Anyone who's been through a hard time, it just like, I think that's why music is so special, because when there's no one to talk to and no one understands where you're feeling, there's always that one song that can just like get you through it.
Yes. And that was what I'm hoping for with this song.
Yeah, it totally resonated.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, gosh, like, in your, maybe give you a 30-second question, in your eclectic taste in music that we all know that you have, where does that come from? Where does that kind of song come from? You just gave us a gorgeous song, and so the track she sent me is her playing piano to it. Where does that come from? It comes from your soul, first of all. It comes from you.
Yes.
You know, but like, you know, I asked Shantelle the same question. Who's influenced you? And you can actually give us, even if it's someone that's not a celebrity, if it's someone that was maybe personal to you or a family member that really influenced how you wrote those kind of songs.
So I grew up in a musical family. So my mom is a singer and plays guitar. My biological father, same thing. They were like in a band together before he went to jail, but that's irrelevant.
That's a song.
That's a song.
country song.
And so, you know, I've always been musical, but something like this, I think, when I write from a place of realness. Like I have to connect to the lyrics that I'm writing, and everything that's on my record is a part of my story. So you can basically listen to my record and know, oh, that's what she was going through in that song. Oh, she really don't like him. Taylor Swift but not about all the exes. So something like this would probably come from a musical influence, would be like a Sugarland Stay, or you know, a Miranda Lambert Tin Man, something that really resonates with people, and people can kind of go, yeah, I've been there. I know what that feels like, and you know, I want to be stronger, or I want to feel beautiful, even though I feel like, you know, a broken plate that can't ever get put back together.
You're beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
So good. So beautiful.
You are all beautiful, by the way.
So I got a slower tune as well here. I actually just wrote this. I just finished writing it yesterday. So this is the newest song that I have written.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be kind of cool to show something that is brand new. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'm going to play it. Confessions, and when you're alone, you'll take off your shirt and leave it on bedroom floor tonight. Leave it on bedroom floor tonight. turn out the light with angels on the bedroom floor tonight. Angels on the bedroom floor tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was really good. It sounds like that sounds like a song that should be on the radio.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Especially the chorus part.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. You know, there's so much I could say about this song, and I won't say too much about it. There's a lot in the lyrics there. There's some different meanings to me, but I was just thinking, when we're alone, we're in our room, right? We're by ourselves, and a lot of us are in our rooms right now in this crazy time. And what are the things that we're thinking about? What are the things that we're working out inside ourselves? And I love the idea of the most real thing being your bedroom floor.
Yeah.
I just really like that idea. And you know what? There was a little bit of, for those Goo Goo Dolls fans out there, acoustic number 3 off Dizzy Up the Girl. If anyone knows that song, a little bit of that. Was feeling that, and yeah, thank you. It's great.
I heard a little country in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With the finger picking stuff, just a little bit. House That Built Me vibes, a little bit.
Miranda.
Right?
I was thinking even Tin Man's got that kind of vibe too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
was
pretty.
cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shan, give us a song.
Yes. I'm excited to play this one. This is probably the best song I've ever written. Probably because I.
Back up. This is the best song I've written, guys. Okay.
Okay. This is. I shouldn't say that. This is.
No, you totally should say that.
My favorite song I've written because I wrote it with a really cool guy named Chris Byrne. And we came up with this idea of, there's no place like home. So I think a lot of people can relate to this because, especially now, right? We've been at home a lot. So I got the idea, I called my sister, and she was living in Halifax at the time and just really missing Fort McMurray and our family here because we all live here and it's such an awesome place and just community. It feels like home. So we kind of came up with that line and just rolled with it. So here it is. Call from my sister yesterday. She was feeling kind of blue. Said that she was missing home. I said, yeah, I've been there too. I know it's hard when everyone you love is 1,000 miles away.
was getting choked up, holding back her tears, and all that I could say was walking around Paris on a Friday night, cruising down Broadway in the neon light, seeing all the things that most people will never see. Standing on a beach, watching waves roll in, thinking about the million places that I've been. I think I finally figured out where I'm supposed to be. I've been around the world, and no matter where I roam, there ain't no place like home. I remember me and you talking all about how we couldn't wait to leave. But looking back now, ain't it funny how the grass doesn't seem so green? Everybody dreams about seeing the world, spreading your wings to fly. But coming back home to the place you love is the greatest thrill in life. Walking around Paris on a Friday night, cruising down Broadway in the neon light, seeing all the things that most people will never see. Standing on a beach, watching waves roll in, thinking about the million places that I've been. I think I finally figured out where I'm supposed to be. I've been around the world, and no matter where I roam, there ain't no place like home. No place like home. I'm coming home. No place like home. Walking around Paris on a Friday night, cruising down Broadway in the neon lights, seeing all the...
Such early Leanne Rimes vibes from that song.
What?
Yeah, totally. Like
Thank
her,
you.
I'm on a one-way ticket.
I loved that song when I was like 9 years old.
Yeah, and like the visuals of getting your song was so good. I could just imagine the setting. I love that.
Thanks, Eva.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. I kept thinking like music video language, and someone's got their, old gun,
Yes.
they're ready to, they go over to their truck and like, where's
I grew up listening to him doing that, and then he swapped back over to acoustic, and then so actually his old guitar is back home, and I'm waiting to go home to pick it up and put it on the wall. I'm gonna get his name engraved on it and all that stuff, right? So
beautiful.
Yep. Yeah.
So good. What are you going to sing for us tonight?
Actually, this is another kind of nostalgic song, funny enough. And I was actually talking to an old buddy man, that was awesome. And the daily grind gets at you. You have your positive things now.
Used to grab the kids and play, run up and down the streets until they never slow down, never grow up. Sing along with the sound. Good times always stay on my mind. Now we're doing the daily grind. Hey, never grow up, never slow down, never grow up.
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, one America too. She's a good girl, a crazy about Elvis, loves horses, like her boyfriend Julia. Take it away, Shantelle.
It's a long day, living in a cedar. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. Yeah, I'm a bad boy, for breaking her heart. Now I'm free.
apples, standing in the shadows, in the good girls, home with broken hearts, and yeah, I'm free. I'm free falling. Yeah, I'm free. I'm free falling. Let's take it down. Yeah, I'm free. I'm free.